So what is it that we need to provide for them to make their play fantastic? It's really simple. Stuff. Stuff to play with. Now, in play work, we call that stuff loose parts. It's a technical term. All it means really is stuff to play with. And the more open-ended, the less specific the stuff, the better. I remember really enjoying, when I was growing up, playing with a clothes horse and with blankets and cushions off the sofa. I was lucky my mum had a nursery school, so we had blocks and planks and stuff in the garden that we could play with. So you don't need to go out and buy expensive stuff. In fact, specific toys are fairly limited in their play value because they only do one thing. But this, I don't know what it is, duvet case maybe that this girl is playing with, could be 100 things, and the tires could be 100 things, and the netting could be used 100 different ways. So really, a lot of creating a play environment is giving them stuff to play with. And next time you're going to go to the tip, think, maybe I'll just put off going to the tip for 2 weeks and let the children play with the stuff. It might be cardboard boxes, which everyone seems to have tons of with Amazon. It might be a traffic cone that you found in the hedge. It might be your keyboard from your computer that you're going to throw out. It might be your own clothes that you were going to take to the charity shop. It might be a suitcase that's got a broken wheel or a broken handle. I get through one of those wheelie suitcases probably every year to 2 years. Bits of fabric left over, bits of pipe, insulating from pipe. Honestly, anything at all that is safe enough for children to play with, they will think of a million things to do with them. So that's the first thing, just man-made stuff to play with. And the other stuff that children love playing with are what we call natural loose parts. And that's sand, earth, water, mud, stones, sticks, and leaves. Yeah, they're messy. We might be bothered by the mess, but the textural experience for the children to touch real earth and real sand and real water is very, very important and very good for children. And how on earth are we going to raise children that actually are interested in saving the earth if they literally don't even touch earth? So I remember going on holiday, well, not going on holiday one year. We had to cancel our summer holiday one year, and I got the local builder to lift a 1-ton bag of sand over our hedge and drop it in the garden. And that was our beach for the year. And the children absolutely loved it. And we put the hose pipe up, and they were almost as happy as if we had gone on holiday. So a bag of potting compost and a bucket of water to a child can be so many things, especially if you combine it with a few old saucepans and a frying pan and a baking tray. Hours or days can be spent playing with these very, very simple ingredients, if you like. These are just like ingredients are to a cook, to children's play. And of course, the other essential ingredient is other people, playful people, people who want to play. Now, it might be siblings, if you've got siblings. It might be having friends around to play, if you're lucky enough to do that. Or it might be an adult that is playful, that agrees to put aside the formality of being an adult for a while and to enter into the child's world of playfulness. And it's good for us to do that. It's good for us to get down at a child's level and be playful. So when we're doing that, here are some useful phrases that you might think about for use in your play. What if? What if this box is a cash machine? What can we do? How can we make it into a cash machine? What if this box is a garage? What if this carpet tile turns us into frogs? What if helps us unleash our imaginations? And you will hear it in children's play all the time. let's pretend. Let's pretend is a fantastic phrase. And if you are near children's play and you listen to children's play, it's a phrase that children use to negotiate a shared understanding of what the scenario is going to be really quickly. Let's pretend we're pirates. Boom, they're there. They're into being pirates. Let's pretend that this toy rabbit has magical powers. So children can very, very rapidly create a whole fantasy and imaginary world with the phrase let's pretend, and that they're very good at that. And then the other thing that we can think about is, what do you need? What do you need next in your play? Okay, so you've made a gymkhana and you've put some blocks on the floor and you're jumping over it in your with your horsey. Do you need a helmet? Can I find you a helmet? Go get a plastic bowl and tie it on with a tea towel to be a helmet. You're building a bigger den in the garden with bigger children, and the roof won't stay up. What do you need me to give you so that you can achieve the thing that you're trying to achieve in your play? Do you need me to get a rope so we can tie that onto there? Do you need a bigger tarpaulin that doesn't keep sliding off? What can I do to feed into your play so it can progress? And here's 5 tips for you on how to be a playful adult. Okay? Set up the play space. If you're stuck in a house and you don't have a garden, push the furniture to one side, maybe get the cushions out, put them on the floor. Create a space that says this space is for play. If you're lucky enough to have a garden, get some stuff out of the garage. Maybe get an old car tire. Maybe save up all your cardboard boxes. Get some blankets. Get some big sticks. Um, give over part of the garden just for free playful digging. So set up a space that's going to be a playful space. Number 2, follow, don't lead. This is wonderful for adults because we might be sort of reluctant or nervous about, well, how do we lead play? You don't need to lead play. Sit down, listen to where the child's going, and follow their prompts, because pretty soon they'll be inventing things and they'll be asking you to join in, which leads us straight into the next one, which is wait for your invitation, because you will be invited into their play. If they've made a lovely birthday cake out of mud and sticks, you'll be invited to blow the candles out, or you'll be invited to test it. If they've made a den, you'll probably be invited into that den. So wait for the invitation, um, follow the lead of where the play is going, but also remember this is their play, and step out again when the flow of their play is going, because they don't need us all the time in their play. They like to have their own world. They like to have, sometimes they want adults in their play and other times they really won't. So be sensitive. If they're really engaged in their play, especially if they're with friends, you don't have to be involved. You can step back once the fire has been lit, if you like, that fire of play, that deep engagement that children get to in their play. So we don't have to be there all the time, but it's good to be watching and to feed that fire, to be feeding things into the play, almost without them even knowing. And I remember being at a parents' play day at a school, and there was a father and a child, and they were building a kind of an assault course across the grounds. And I was walking past and I was dropping tires and planks nearby. Neither of them spotted me, but the little boy was running off and going, "Oh, Dad, I just found this. I just found this. I just found a plank. Can we add it in?" And I was feeding the play because I was observant as to what they were doing and where the play was going and what they needed. So I was enabling the play without actually interfering in it. So those are some ideas about how, as an adult, you can be part of the play process without taking over the play process. So here's some ideas to get you started. Number one, the most important one, the big pile of weird stuff. What do I mean by that? Literally anything that you can find that is playable. Some pillows, a piece of wood, an old suitcase, a piece of foam insulation. Um, if you're in a house, then the piles are not going to be so big. If you've got a garden or an outside space or a driveway, see what you can find that is free and isn't going to be too dangerous for your child, like shatter or trap them or cut them. Is it safe enough? Just you can use a common sense test if you think it's be safe enough, and then let them off with it. And in play work, we have this theory where the theory of loose parts is if you give a child one thing to play with, one weird thing to play with, they will be really inventive and they might invent 100 things that you can do with that. Put it on your nose, put it down your shirt, pretend it's wings, balance it on your head, pretend it's a baby, run around it, jump on it, jump off it. If you give two children two weird things to play with, they will combine them together in many different ways. If you give them three, that's like the power of play cubed. So every extra thing we give them, they will find many, many, many different ways of using them and combining them. And that's why just the pile of weird stuff is so valuable in play and so undervalued. I think maybe because of the toy industry is never going to make any money if they realize that actually the big pile of weird stuff is all children ever needed to entertain themselves. That doesn't really make great sales. The combination of cardboard and chalk is fantastic because you get a box and you do a big red cross on it, and that's a hospital. You get a box and you draw 3 circles on top, and that's a cooker, and get some pots and pans out, and you've got a stove. You get a box and write a menu on it, and you get another box and draw some plates on it, and you've got a cafe. You can build a hospital, you can build anything you want, you can build a car. So cardboard and chalk together are practically free, and you can make so many different things out of them. Don't Fall In is a great game. I think all children love to play Don't Fall In. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Hang on. You'll know the game. Don't fall in the hot lava. Don't fall in the swamp. How do we get from here to there using some of the weird stuff? Get all the pillows in the house and see how far you can get jumping from pillow to pillow without falling in the hot lava. Get all the cushions off the outside chairs and create islands and jump from island to island, but don't fall in the swamp. Give children planks and tires outside so that they can create walkways to go between places. So all children of most ages love Don't Fall In. Dens, and more dens. Children love to build dens, both inside and outside. Inside, make a crack between the sofa and the wall, and give them some pillows and blankets and duvet covers and let them build a den. Outside, get some broom handles and tie them together with a couple of big elastic bands to make a tripod and make a teepee. Let them build materials. Don't build the den for them. Making dens is like Lego. If somebody builds your Lego model for you, not fun. You need to build your own den. But we as adults can help with the materials. And then finally, the Stranded Alien Adventure was something that I can't remember where I came across it. And I ran it in Youth Week up in a woodland near us, and parents told me that their children had ended up playing it for weeks over the summer holidays. So I had a little cork and I put it on the ground. I said, this is a little alien and his spaceship has just flown off and it's not coming back for a year. What are they going to need to live? And the children went, a house. They're going to need a house. I go, how do we make a house? So I got a stick. I what's going on? I got a stick, and I chose a stick that had a kind of Y shape near the top, and I broke off the side branches, and I call it a Y stick, and I stuck it in the ground, and then I put another one about 6 inches, about 20 centimeters, near it like that, and I laid another stick between them, so I had like a bar supported, and then I leant sticks up and either side, and we built a tiny, tiny tent structure, and we put leaves on it, and that was a little house for the alien. And then I was asking the children, well, is the alien in a forest? Is it in a jungle? They go, oh, it's in a jungle. Are there wild animals in the jungle? Yeah, there's wild animals. How are we going to protect the alien? We've got to build a fence around the house. So we built a fence. And then the children were going, well, they're going to be bored now. Let's build them a swing. So they built a tiny swing and a table. And then they decided another alien comes. So they built another house down the road. It was amazing. So this idea in play of starting children off an adventure and then letting them run with it is something that we can do over and over again. But try out the Stranded Alien Adventure because children love it.